name is Onoyem Juliet. Presently, I'm heading the department called the Credit Administration Department of Peace Microfinance Bank.
Okay.
And credits, just like the name, gives credits or loans.
Yeah. and you know, credit is something that is very essential for small businesses
to grow.
Yeah.
All businesses,
both the conglomerates and the startups and all that. So it is a very, a big responsibility, because we know that small businesses and all businesses, of course, will be coming to assess this credit to enable them to grow.
Yes, they do.
So in the midst of all these responsibilities, what do you think, set you apart from other staffs for this particular month of April that made your organization to reckon with you as the best staff for the month?
I've been in this bank for a while, and I joined the bank to pass through its stages of ups and downs, which is part of growth, and it made me have deep passion not to go back from where we are coming from. Others may not have that understanding why we have to give our best not to return to where we have been before. It's like you having experienced Egypt and then you are in Canaan. You can give your life to make sure you stay in Canaan, because Canaan is better than Egypt.
The idea of the performance profiling is to try and establish a reward mechanisms or contribute to supporting organizations that have a reward mechanisms for their staff, because we know that we're in an environment where non-performance, mediocrity seem to be rewarded, whereas there are people that are silently working in an organization, putting in their best and ensuring that the organization moves forward, and most times they're not recognized. And we know that some organizations have what we know as the best staff of the month, and most often than not, these best staffs are just by mere words within the organization, and that ends it. And so this performance profiling program or initiative is designed to spotlight these individuals and make them to have a sense of being a star. Now, can you recall any particular incident that happened that like you talk about giving your best, that you went above and beyond what is usually expected from someone in your office to perform?
I'll give a past incident.
Yes.
Some years in this bank, some years ago, the MD then picked me up and said, "Juliet, only you can hold our office in Dede." And I said, "Sir, but I'm living at Airport Road, the distance."
Yes.
He said, "Please do it for the sake of the bank." And for 2.5 years, I was the manager of the branch. And from the branch to get to the main road when we close in the evening, the hold up there is usually something else.
Yes.
Recently they just constructed the road, so it's not really too much, but then. So sometimes, and our transaction was majorly cash based. In short, only cash based there. And most of our customers will receive money past 6. Businessmen, they will bring money for them when we have closed. A good number of times, I would have crossed that hold up, trying to get to Airport Road, and a customer will call me, "I have cash, and I want you to take it so that nothing happens." I'll go back and collect it. And it gives me joy that I removed that risk
from
the customer losing money. And it made so many of them to still be our customers to date because of the service we are rendering since we started with them.
Wonderful.
Peace Microfinance Bank,
Step into a brighter future with us.
Peace Microfinance Bank,
Step into a brighter future with us.
Now, it's very obvious that having the ability to manage these responsibilities, is what gives you an edge over every other person. But one of the key aspects of managing this responsibility is prioritizing what is more important. So, how do you prioritize your responsibilities?
In what we do on a daily basis, we have what I should do as the head and what other people under me should engage in. So I pick what I should do and ensure it's done. And even when I delegate some other persons under me to do some jobs, I make sure I go through what they have done to ensure we get it right.
Can you give us an example of a particular problem that you or opportunity that you identified, and without any form of exuberance or hesitation, you went ahead to exploit that opportunity or to solve that problem, putting the bank in a safer place?
Before I was taken to Day, I was the manager of Banex Plaza branch. Because I was transferred there, I did analysis of the branch and discovered that I don't have customers around Banex. They feel we're a microfinance bank and they have better options. I now reviewed where they get customers from. And they say it's in Pape. I said, so what are we doing here? And then the rent then was 3 million per annum. And they wrote me a letter they want to increase to 3.5. I was not meeting up with the 3 million and another increase was coming. So I did a letter to the then MD advising to close the branch and relocate it to Pape. So he followed my advice and it was done. And we were able to cut off that cost because the Pape is our own building, okay, and that is where we are getting customers that is footing the branch. Yes. So it was done, and it's a nice one.
So you talked about research. How do you stay up to date? Because the microfinance bank sector is one sector that is evolving. Yes. Since the Microfinance Act of 2005 by the Central Bank of Nigeria, there have been a lot of, crises, challenges. A lot of banks have been withdrawn, licenses have been withdrawn. So how do you stay up to date in the trends and issues around microfinance bank and your customers?
I'm a certified microfinance practitioner.
Wonderful.
And we have platforms where we interact, and National Association of Microfinance Bank, NAM, also make effort to ensure we are regularly trained. So that's what we do. We have, and then we read CBN publish updates on the industry regularly, and we read to update ourselves.
Wonderful. So in all this now, the centerpiece of what to do, all the research you do, and staying up to date is about the customer. Can you describe, for us any time that you can remember you handled a difficult customer and how you were able to overcome or satisfy that difficult customer?
In this industry, we come across difficult people often because Nigerians believe you take a loan and pay when you want to, or don't even pay. So we come across them often. But this particular one, we went out. Under normal circumstances, when you approach somebody owing you, the person should be saying, please, I will pay so time, I'll pay so time. But this husband and wife started fighting us. And said they are going to break the head of one of the people I went, yes, my team members. And if I allowed them, he actually carried a weapon. And if I allow them to happen, I will be talking about somebody's life instead of the money I went to recover. So in most cases, what I do is that I front my team members, and if I see any challenge that will impact negatively on the bank, I come as a middle person. So I was able to corner the man, and then I took hold of that situation, and nobody was injured. That's yes.
So, but were you able to?
Yes, of course. Yes, to mediate. They've paid us. They are not owing us. They've paid us.
So, as a wrap up, can you explain to us how you ensure, because your job is about money.
Yes.
It's about giving credit. You know, like the case you just mentioned now. How do you ensure that you pay attention to detail and that your customers don't feel cheated in any form or shape?
I told you the history of where we migrated. Yes. So we have standards because we are a bank. We are not money lenders. Okay, you give us what we want. We don't cheat. We'll give you terms and conditions of loan stipulated in offer letter. So you will see what we agreed with you. There is no cheating there because everything is documented, everything is written.
All right, thank you very much. So lastly, what message do you have for your customers and for your colleagues?
For my colleagues, always, I advise them. The Bible says, whatever your hand finds to do, do it diligently. And for my customers, we always pray for them daily. In this bank, this is the only bank I know that offers prayer to God on a daily basis. We ask God to bless the customers that are coming to patronize us. So we do that on their behalf.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. I want to ask that if you have any performance individual within your organization or within your community or within your environment that you think the person ought to be celebrated, the person ought to be motivated, the person ought to be spotlighted, just let us know in the comment section and we'll work with you to ensure that such a person, such an individual receives the commendation that he or she deserves.